Thank you for joining us on CBS 8 Plus. I'm Anna Laurel. Here at CBS 8, we're working for you, getting to the bottom of problems you've asked about, and we're looking for solutions. Today we start in San Diego's Loma Portal neighborhood. People living there are up in arms over the removal of historic lampposts. CBS 8's Shannon Handy is working for you to find out why they're being taken down and what the city says about it.
You'll find these historic lampposts all over Loma Portal. Some have been around for more than a century. Neighbors tell me taking them down strips this area of its history. Save our lampposts. When I got to Loma Portal this morning, I was shocked to see how many people were there to voice their concerns over the removal of antique lampposts in the neighborhood.
I just got on the next door site and said, help us, our lampposts are in danger, and these people showed up immediately.
Kim Leary contacted CBS 8 yesterday after seeing crews take down lampposts near Poinsettia and Lotus.
I saw a bunch of them coming down yesterday, and it was horrifying to me.
We sent a photographer by and witnessed the same thing. Leary and others in the area are concerned it's an ongoing project that will end with all of them eventually going away.
I know that the electrical is old style and it might take a little more effort and labor, but we are all taxpayers here. Our taxes can go toward that sort of work to improve our neighborhoods and to fix the lampposts rather than destroy, remove, and replace them.
During our interview, Elaine Burrell clutched this book she and her neighbors created about the history of Loma Portal, including its lampposts, which she says are significant for a number of reasons.
They mean charm and beauty and history. The lampposts represent safety and security for our children and our families.
Robert Allenby shared those same sentiments. He's lived in Loma Portal for 60 years.
They are poles that we decorate every holiday season. It's the fabric of our community. It defines who we are.
Many of these old lampposts haven't worked for quite some time, and that's the case in nearby neighborhoods like Kensington, where last year city leaders unveiled a plan to replace 50 of them, saying they weren't reliable or safe. As for Loma Portal, I reached out to the city to find out what their strategy is. A spokesperson confirmed poles are being replaced, saying in part, while the streetlights are old, they are not in a historic district and therefore are not historic themselves, adding restored poles are not anticipated to have the same life expectancy as a new pole and foundation, resulting in additional costs and maintenance by city crews in the future. For those reasons, this project included the replacement of the poles instead of restoration or retrofitting of existing elements. You can read the entire statement on CBS8.com. It's unclear if all poles are being replaced and what the timeline is. We'll update this story as we learn more. Working for you, I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
All right, Shannon, thank you. The old Mesa Library was supposed to open over the summer as a new housing project, but instead, it's still a closed-down eyesore. CBS 8's Steve Price is working for you to find out why the project still hasn't started.
The Mesa Library closed in 2006, but today it is still sitting here empty, a vacant mess. The property was supposed to be redeveloped, but as you can see, that work still hasn't started. Trash in the parking lot, a broken fence, rotting wood. What was once a popular library now has a dark cloud hanging over it.
It's not the most appealing thing to look at. We walk by it a lot and you just kind of wonder what happened to it.
Neighbors say the property isn't just an eyesore, it's also attracting a crowd.
I've seen homeless people there a lot just hanging out. The police are there trying to get them out of there.
The library closed because a new one opened about a mile away. In 2020, the city announced that a local nonprofit would develop the site at Sand Rock Road and Hurlbut Street into 26 units for chronically homeless youth and young adults. Then Mayor Kevin Faulkner praised the plan.
The right zoning close to transportation corridors that really have the opportunity to quickly build the housing that we need.
The city gave a target opening date of August 2023, but 3 months later, not only is a new building not open, the old building is still here. CBS 8 confirmed the city still owns the property, but it seems we are no closer to starting a project here than we were 3 years ago when it was first announced. A city spokesperson telling us the city selected a proposal from Community Housing Works for the property and negotiated the disposition, which is the action of transferring the property rights to them. The item was docketed for the November 16th Land Use and Housing Committee meeting, but with the recent consolidation of the city's Economic Development Department and the Department of Real Estate and Airport Management, staff requested the item be returned to them for further analysis and will come forward at a future date. So the property that's been sitting empty for 17 years, at least for now, will continue to stay that way, much to the chagrin of neighbors who would prefer something positive for their community.
I mean, I think it'd be really cool to build another library. I mean, it brings a lot of community together. It's probably more appealing than what it looks like now, but anything I feel like is better than what it is right now.
In Sarah Mesa, Steve Price, CBS 8.
All right, Steve, thank you. San Diego is filled with electric cars, but many people thinking about buying one for themselves wonder, should they buy now or wait until next year? CBS 8's Shannon Handy got details straight from the experts who say there are some tax changes coming that you need to consider.
Most electric vehicles qualify for a federal tax credit. That credit will still be available in 2024, but depending on the car you choose, it could be reduced.
As electric vehicles continue to evolve, so too are the tax incentives that come along with them. If you look up Tesla's Model 3 on its homepage, you may notice this message stating the $7,500 federal tax credit could be reduced by half in 2024. We wanted to know why.
The tax incentive for alternative fuel vehicles is always shifting and moving around.
Carl Brower is an executive analyst at IC Cars, an online automotive search engine and research website. He explained the Inflation Reduction Act, which Congress passed in August of 2022, limited credits to cars with battery components and raw materials that come from the U.S. or a free trade partner. Those restrictions get stricter each year, and Tesla believes it may not qualify for half of the $7,500 credit with next year's tightening of restrictions.
They want the battery production in the U.S. So a certain amount of cars fell out of the $7,500 federal tax incentive.
Because of this, you may see some companies, including Tesla, slash prices to make up for those lost incentives. Chris George, general manager of Team Kia of El Cajon, says because Kias don't qualify, they've found other ways to pass along $7,500 in savings to customers.
So when you lease a vehicle, say from an import, they wind up matching that.
George says he's confident those incentives aren't going away anytime soon, so there's no rush to buy now versus later. But there is another change coming in 2024 that could sway you to wait. Starting next year, that $7,500 tax incentive will be offered right away via the dealership as opposed to months later when filing taxes.
So you fall in an adjusted gross income of $50,000 or $60,000, you may not be able to use the full tax credit because you don't have a big enough tax liability. So this is really a benefit for the consumers into 2024.
Instead of paying fewer taxes when you file your return, you'll pay less for the car when you buy it.
Both experts say do your research to ensure your income bracket qualifies for a rebate. Another thing to consider, California, which offers additional rebates for electric vehicles, is no longer accepting new applications. Instead, in 2024, they plan to provide subsidies only to low to middle income residents who have more trouble affording electric cars. Working for you, I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
That's good to know, Shannon. Thank you. If you have an old $2 bill stashed away, you might want to dig it up because it could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands. Now, not just any old bill will be a score. CBS 8's Jenny Day explains which old bills are worth more and what key differences you can look out for.
Not really a whole lot you can get for $2 these days. A lotto ticket, a couple of things off the dollar menu, $2 chuck, but add a few zeros and now we're talking. That's what some $2 bills are now worth.
I've heard it's lucky and it's just kind of a cool keepsake.
They seem so special because we don't use them regularly.
A lot of us have a story of where they came from.
I work a valet job, and so oftentimes people are tipping us in $2 bills, and they kind of think that it's a little bit more special.
My son's grandmother would send him one regularly every year. And
always those grandmas.
Always grandma.
It's kind of like, baseball card collections or coins. You hope it's worth something one day, and here we are. It might be.
Yeah, that's true.
To ensure your $2 bill is safe, we found two credible sites, U.S. Currency Auctions and Heritage Auctions. So let's get the bad news out of the way first.
Most $2 bills that people have are only worth face value. There's something about the collecting mentality that's in most of us that we want to hold on to things that we think are scarce, but they're not actually scarce.
But we're saying there's a chance. This one from 1937 sold for close to $2 grand in 2005, and this one from 1935 sold for more than $3,000 in 2010. These bills from the 1970s sold for $100. So here's where to start.
The currency grading guide is broken down into 7 different categories, starting with uncirculated, meaning a clean, crisp, flawless paper surface and razor-sharp corner and edges, or more like mine, under good, a heavily circulated note that has wrinkles and creases. All carry different values.
I then tracked down the vice president of currency auctions, who says $2 bills with a red seal like this can sell for up to $2,500. Those with brown or blue seals can sell for hundreds.
What else is worth pointing out on this that might be worth more?
Anything that may look like an error. So if you haven't seen it before, if it's missing serial numbers, if part of the design is obscured.
Collectors like rare, collectors like pristine. So again, you're looking for solid serial numbers like 8 2s or a sequence 1 2 3 4.
Being serial number 1 would be especially valuable. Those can be worth upwards of $20,000 if you have the right one.
So after you compare your cash to this guide, you can upload a photo and put it on the auction block.
I think I'd kind of hold on to it. My kids would definitely not. They'd want the money.
And if yours isn't worth more than $2, maybe give it to another kid. Keep that currency and wonder in circulation. Working for you in Kearney Mesa, Jenny Day, CBS 8.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Where are you most likely to get a parking ticket in the city of San Diego? Some of you wanted to know, so we went to work for you and found out. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen highlights the top places around San Diego you're most likely to get dinged if you aren't paying attention.
This parking area around the De Anza boat launch ramp is the #1 spot for the highest amount of parking tickets. The city of San Diego reported more than 2,120 tickets given out this year, mainly due to the violation of parking signs.
Wow. I believe it 100 plus. Yeah, this is a little moneymaker for the city. And there's no reason for those tickets to happen. None of these cars are taking spaces away from vehicles with trailers.
Well, I didn't notice any of the signs that you can't park here unless you have a trailer. So now I'm watching my car so I don't get a ticket.
Coming in the 2nd and 3rd spots with the most parking tickets are the Ski Beach lot on Ingram Street
and 7600 Siempre Viva Road in Otay Mesa.
From January 1st through October 31st, the city collected more than $25 million in parking citations. And it doesn't end there.
Here in East Village on 13th Street, stretching 5 blocks from 500 to 1,000, the city issued more than 4,100 parking tickets this year.
At least 10 in the last, since the beginning of the year, I would say. At least 10.
Charles Smith works on 13th Street.
It's a struggle because we work here and we're here for more than 4 hours a day. This is 4-hour parking in front of this building, so it's difficult.
So what are the top reasons for tickets? More than 88,000 tickets were issued for parking during street sweeping hours. A little over 69,000 tickets for violating signs, more than 62,000 tickets for expired meters, and more than 35,000 tickets for parking in a red zone. You're most likely to get a ticket on a Tuesday or Thursday, according to the city's data. Luckily, there may be some relief for people parking on 13th Street in East Village in the near future.
They are building East Village Greens right across the street here, so that's going to help alleviate the parking situation, although I don't believe construction is going to be completed until 2025. So up until then, we're kind of just limited to the small amounts of parking.
Working for you, Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
And that is helpful, Ariana. Thank you. Remember, if there's something you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thanks for joining us here on CBS 8 Plus. See you next time.